Saturday's showdown. OK Savings Bank Breon versus DRX.
And does give them a pretty beefy front line.
Oh, this would be way more fun, though.
A lot more exciting. Would it be better? I'm not so sure.
No, it's so much lightning, man. So much lightning. Absolutely exceptional. Rascal's allowed to cook. All right, well, is it going to be Juhan playing it? Are we going to see top lane Rakan? Very much looking forward to seeing how Rascal's going to go on a very different pick towards the top side. Let's hop onto the Rift. However, we did a bit of research and we came up empty about this one. Let's have a look at what he's picked up here. Just going to be some classic grasping millions and millions of years ago and decided, no, we're done.
Or maybe
As Hook is going to land here towards the bottom side, Beryl taking a fair bit of damage.
Or maybe Evolution got lazy and
oh, that's a different take.
Finished off their assignment and was like, you know what, I'm good.
I think you should tell a Crocodile one day that you think that Evolution got lazy and that's why they're still the same after millions of years. See how that goes for you.
I'm sure the Crocodile would appreciate it. We've had this matchup before, apparently.
We have.
LCK.
These, like the side lanes are like equalized right now, but all of these minions are just dying. Like it's not about that. As Dundun in potential position. We do manage to get an ulti here as Rascal just says no thank you. Still, he's going to get taken down extraordinarily low. The Zeri's going to be taken out, but Fate takes matters. Fiesta, sorry, takes matters into his own hands. Picks up a double kill. Now Juhan's going to be the next to fall, and Nongshim, they wipe the floor with DRX. That's absolutely massive. Is it going to be Riftmaker this game as well? Is that the agreed upon mythic for this particular build? As Dominus has been popped here by Dundun. Gonna stun up Rascal, doing a whole bunch of work, but he's just gonna ult away. Tries to wreck his own turret. Doesn't actually work that way. Does have his flash available. The ulti's up as well. Juhan, can he land the prison? He does. It's on the Poppy. Is Sylvie taking so much damage, surviving for a very long time, but the explosive charge is going to be there. Dundun going to be the second target, as he's gonna have to flash away as well, and Nongshim not able to offer anything in this particular fight. Chains of Corruption are down as, wow, Rascal takes a whole host of health. Jiwoo is still pretty strong here in this fight, as now he's just walking up to Beryl, able to get out of the way of that grand entrance, and now Nongshim looking for it again. The spacing fantastic here from the Varus as Rascal has to get out of the area. Jiwoo still has Flash and Cleanse available as Fate trying to get his way out. Fiesta's here, and of course, Sylvie making his way out from base. So no smite available. Juhan able to lock down the Dragon and Quad. Sorry, Fate going to be able to lock down the Crocodile, but double kill comes in for Fiesta yet again. And that's going to be Jiwoo just laying down these autos. He grabs a double himself, and once again, Nongshim win the fight.
And that looked like it was going to be so bad for Nongshim. There's definitely some magic damage, but I mean, realistically, he's picking the Wit's End because he wants the damage from it, but the magic is a little bit wasted. Now, Nongshim actually starting up the Baron themselves. Sylvie does have the ult.
Beryl kind of walking back into that max range hook from Peter. Does manage to get the ward in. As Keeper's Verdict comes down, and Sylvie and Fiesta, they just walk into the Baron pit and walk away with the buff.
That was nearly super slick for Nongshim. Peter holding Juhan still, and then Sylvie knocks the Sejuani away, but didn't quite connect. But it didn't matter anyway. They got the Baron.
Just not a lot of work being done on Nongshim. You can see just timing out the Zeri as best they can. And Dundun now just going to press his dominance here as Fate and Rascal are bearing down on him. Beryl's going to turn up as well. There's finally the flash as Dundun's bought enough time. Fate's going to rocket jump, try and get himself out of this one as Beryl and Rascal want to still try and find some flank opportunity as the grand entrance is just denied. Heroic charge was too good. Emperor's Divide, a bit of a celebration here from Fiesta, who tries to hide in golden form. There is the Conquering Sands, but it's a double kill. Jiwoo's taking matters into his own hands. Hook comes down from Peter. He'll land that one, and it's a triple kill for this on-hit Varus. They'll make short work of these Nexus turrets before saying goodbye to the Nexus itself. And Nongshim, just a pretty clean game number one.
And you know, the expectation for these teams, both bottom of the table, is to be pretty close, but that game did not look close at all. Nongshim
here to the LCK, now with an on-hit Varus under his belt, and that is a lot, not a lot of damage.
Don't know the enemy support, which might end up just being that Nautilus again. Could even be the Lulu, which, I'm going to be real, that'd make the laning phase go even worse and would sync super well with the double AD carries.
Yeah.
Peter is loving this right now. He is so happy with this situation. He's like, do they not know? They just played Zeri Rakan, and we dumpstered them.
Could be very difficult here for DRX. It's do or die if they want to pick up their first victory this week. Let's jump onto the Rift for game 2.
Peter probably Rakan.
Fiesta in a little bit of trouble here, one could say, as he rocket jumps, holds the flash. Never mind. Nerves of steel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, unfortunately, quite late, so not sure if Fiesta's going to be able to get a recall. Starting W on Tristana in this matchup, not as big of an issue. Oh.
Yeah, that's a very early flash here as we are face-checking.
To challenge himself by losing flash, but in the end, it does end up paying off for DRX, and hopefully they'll be able to capitalize on that lack of flash.
Yeah. Sounds like the beginning of a memoir. I don't know how it started this way, but it did. As Jiwoo now without the flash is going to have to just take the grand entrance, as there's the flash forward from Juhan, but doesn't manage to get the CC, and now Paddock taking a lot of damage back. He has to flash as well. And 2 versus 3, I think Nongshim walk out very happy about this.
Yeah, DRX bid 3 flashes to try and make that happen.
There's a 4th, if you count Hex Flash.
I don't.
Neither do I.
I'm very specific with that.
Yeah,
but yeah, questionable. I think the bigger issue is the fact that they were level 1 in that situation. Paddock didn't have his E to dash in range, and then also the big thing with the E is it allows your Q to pass through, and you actually saw Peter body blocking, so they couldn't follow up with the damage. But you know all that positive stuff I was saying about how like they binge you with flash and stuff? Yeah, forget about it. They've just
forget about it.
They've just given up so much more in return, and Sylvie will even steal away blue buff just to add insult to injury.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. The Arctic Assault as well, like so close and yet so far. Juhan looking a little bit silly in the end there. So Sylvie able to steal away the enemy blue buff, will now move back towards his Krug camp and continue his onslaught of the jungle here. Might go for a cheeky little back and then go Raptors to bottom side, or just continue clearing, as it looks like that is what he's going to elect to do. Just a bit of a shout out to Chronicler here as well, as it is going to be the Green Pet as well as Phase Rush. We are just tanking as this Maokai.
Because last game, Jiwoo had a Azir in the mid lane, and this game is a Tristana in the mid lane, very heavy AD.
Yeah.
You might see the AP Varus come out to have a bit of a better damage profile. Yeah, and I think a 6 is when it gets really painful.
Okay, there's a Bramble Smash. It's a few turret shots being soaked here by Sylvie. Flash forward from Rascal. This is what we were talking about. How many of these solo kills are going to come through? He's the king of them and is only just starting to rack a few of them up, as that's another solo kill on the zombie version of the Scion. 2-for-1 special on that one is okay. Sylvie diving forward. Juhan just going to try and get out of there, but he's gone the wrong direction as Fiesta manages to get that extra auto after the Buster shot. Nice little sidestep there from Jiwoo, but still taking a fair bit of damage. But Paddock and Beryl
to be an effective pick. If you're behind, you really just won't have much impact. You see here, the flash stun gives no real time for Dundon's response in this matchup to go. Not well for DRX.
Certainly subpar, but now Rascal has found Sylvie once again. No flash available as he does look to try and get out of here. It's going to be tough though, as Juhan once again going to flash forward. Guarantees the Winter's Wrath, and that is the second kill for the Crocodile. Jiwoo doing battle here on this bottom side. Gets himself a shield from Peter, but it's just going to push DRX away for the moment.
I'm trying to interrupt it.
Yeah, that is Juhan making his way in, and Fiesta just going to have to flash, try and get himself out of the way of this one, but the Glacial Prison does basically nothing, and Fiesta's able to walk his way out. Peter didn't even need to shield him. He just wanted to come in and show us that he could have done it.
Which means it's not a Chemtech Soul.
Oh, Chains of Corruption is going to max range, and Jiwoo's going to dive forward. He does get charmed for a moment, looking for these auto attacks, as there's a block from Peter. Oh, he's so selfless.
There's the croc.
That's the Crocodile making his way forward. Sylvie in trouble. They take down Jiwoo, and now they're looking for even more. The Glitterlance flash, fantastic from Peter to create the space. Nongshim, they lose their AD carry. They get the teleport out from the top lane, though.
Yeah.
You still probably win the game, though, as Jiwoo is able to walk out of the way of the grand entrance. Peril trying to very quickly run the heck away as Sylvie, Bramble Smash comes forward. Actually almost saves Beryl's life there, but we are going to see Fiesta come on over. That's a few autos, and they are going to be able to secure the Rakan.
And it seemed very apt
yeah.
for the situation he was in.
A bit Freudian there on the slip up. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it fits. I think it's apt. And Beryl ends up getting put out there. Once again, the Maokai Very effective at ganking.
Oh, that's a big old twisted advance as Fate could be in trouble. The Buster Shot miscalculated this time around as now Dundun in here trying to make sure that no one is going to die. It looks like Fiesta will secure this turret as now Juhan possibly in trouble, but Renekton, he's the biggest problem. That is a great rocket jump to get Fiesta out of there, but now Beryl is back in amongst the fight.
And it's honestly, it's so hard to play. Oh.
All right, Fiesta, let's see what you can do here as far as getting out of this one. You're just not. So that is going to be a kill going over to Juhan. Really nice little gank from the Sejuani.
In this fight, we've got to see what this proc can do.
Yeah, Fate is coming on over as well. He's looking a little bit frustrated to deal with as the Nature's Grasp comes on through. They do manage to get a couple of snares, but the Glacial Prison comes down as well. Quickness to dive on forward. Beryl doesn't exactly get everyone as Sylvie is flashing away and Fate being frustrating off towards the side. DRX get troll of the Drake and they are just looking to try and burst this one down. Fully charged Q comes forward. Sylvie just locks down the dragon and he will just taxi his way out on Fate here and just says, all right, I guess I'm going to be fine. Yeah, the phases. Just a trip to the dentist, I guess. And now Sylvie looking to move his way over. That's a teleport in, though. You can see that Rascal wants to try and find the flank angle. Good quickness. Gets into the backline as Jiwoo just trying to kite him out. And look at this. The amount of autos this Varus is getting off in this fight is just massive. Rascal goes golden, but then just turns into a little munchkin and will be taken down. Dundun gets his revenge to go down. Sylvie's going to be able to lock up Soul Point here and then look to phase rush his way over. He won't be able to because he can't proc it on anything as the dragon is going to be secured here. Can they buy enough time to get their jungler into this area as Jiwoo getting a lot of damage from over the wall? Dundun just wanders into the pit. It is going to be Baron secured by DRX as now Beryl's pulled the trigger. A lot of damage as they manage to take down the Tristana as Jiwoo is trying to get some work done as well. He breaks his stopwatch, but he's in so much danger. He will be locked up as well. And that is going to be Paddock getting himself a kill on his opposite number. This Pokemon battle's looking a little bit one-sided. As now Dundun looks for the Q, does manage to get it there, but that is going to be him going down once again. And I don't know whether that particular trade was worth it here for Nongshim. As strong as he could have otherwise been. Fate, of course, not exactly the hugest LeBlanc ever. And speaking of which, is going to flash into the Nature's Grasp. Not sure about that one. As there's a rocket jump forward, that will guarantee the kill. And in fact, I believe that was a Buster Shot for the last hit. A lot of confidence there
from their dragons.
Speaking of matching, Dundun able to match Rascal quite nicely here. And Fiesta possibly caught out as Beryl dives forward. They're going to try and get towards this Drake, but they're just not going to be able to make it work. And now Fiesta's dead for 50 seconds. Nongshim 4v5. He's still going to try for this one. Of course, you can let one go. You don't need to lose the game right here, guys, as now Rascal 50% health making his way in. Beryl tries to get the work done, but it does not work out, and now it's Jiwoo against the world. He gets the wild growth, the permafrost going to be there. He's trying to keep him alive. He's kiting, but it's not going to work against this Zeri, as Peter is going to feel the wrath of the electricity. A double kill now, and it's Zeri Gaming once again. Fate diving forward, Dundun just wants out. Probably looking for a turn here, and Fate looking to get some shenanigans through. He is going to find a few autos onto Sylvie with this build. That is all you really need to do, so those chains missing, not really too much of an issue. As now Dundun trying to get further forward. Beryl on that flank angle as here's the Nature's Grasp. Sylvie's going to have to get in there, but no, they're going to give over the Baron. Can they actually win the fight is the question. It looks like they are just going to back away as Dundun slams his head into the wall. Rascal taking a lot of damage here as Fiesta still alive this time around. Rascal may not be as lucky as they get the flash out. The Varus is already dead. They kill the Crocodile, but he overextends as Fiesta. And now they don't have any of these 80 carries. DRX, they take the Baron. They manage to take the fight as well, and they are not done just yet. That twisted advance, man.
That's happening?
Been on an absolute journey this series. And Fate realizes that, no, I think I might just get punched by a branch if I go further forward there. And DRX are now going to look to do some permanent damage to this base. They'll take down this inhibitor turret. The inhibitor sure to follow. Can they get more? Is going to be the question. As Sylvie does make it back. He's pretty tanky, but they've got a lot of minions here. They've still got the Baron buff. Good polymorph there from Peter. Will keep him alive. As Sylvie not going to get permafrosted, but not going to be able to do anything to defend these turrets. And this could just be the last push as DRX pushes towards game number 3. They will be able to find one in this series. At that point, Paddock did just get way too far ahead. 6-0-2, good enough here for the Zeri. Fate did a lot of damage.
And DRX looking at the Braum, which...
Braum, I mean, Zeri doesn't exactly scream great.
I think it works pretty well, but it's better if you're playing defensively.
Yeah.
And the thing is...
That's Renata.
Which, again, is a good defensive pick. Like, the Renata makes sense here because it's a very short-range composition from Nongshim.
For Juhan, but we'll see. Maybe he can just get around the jungle, make things happen anyway. Let's jump onto the Rift here for Game 3. We'll just have to see. At least there's a Zorn vibe here for the DRX bottom lane. So at least they have, like, a TFT-esque synergy situation.
You see Rascal doing pretty well in the early game so far. Has put down a ward, and both solo laners of DRX getting some early vision, but Fate's ward is bot side.
Oh dear, gets the flash very, very early on to Sylvie, and he'll wander his way back out, manages to avoid... I should try doing that, but often it comes up with Persona 5 stuff. So Hook is going to land here towards the bottom side, saving us from the conversation, as Infernum doing a fair bit of work there. Jiwoo not exactly locking everyone down. The logistics program. As that hook, that's a hitbox right there. As Moonlight Vigil flies out, they get the flash out of barrel. And unfortunately, they had no Wukong in the area. You could see they were setting up for some sort of potential dive from Sylvie. It's not the most massive wave, and now with this Rift Herald now being taken on the top side, Nongshim not really finding too much from this one. Let's see what they can actually do here as Sylvie walking on in. Barrel no flash, he should be the target here. They do go for something, but they just lock down these plates.
The bailout.
Oh, the hook. Gonna connect once again as Handshake comes through. There's a hostile takeover, but Jiwoo's able to avoid it. And now Paddock with his ultimate as well. They get the heal out, and already Juhan has come down towards his bottom side. Paddock, not a lot of mana remaining, so no extendo beams to add as that hook. Oh, Jonas Strong got excited. We got excited.
Burned, and still, Peter has his ultimate available. They might look for the Wukong here.
Yeah, that's what Sylvie was thinking. They do manage to get a Cyclone out. That's a flash forward. Handshake's fantastic, but it's First Blood going over to Jiwoo.
Proxying the waves.
Oh, whoa! Somehow that hook manages to land. They throw everything in the kitchen sink at the Zeri, and she will fall. Yeah, he can't skate out of that one, I guess, as Beryl now taking a lot of damage from Jiwoo as well. This should mean second Drake going over to Nongshim.
Beautiful play from Peter, and nothing even burned there by DRX. Paddock just exploded. The bailout doesn't even come through, but to be honest, it wouldn't have done anything apart from maybe let Paddock pick up a couple more CS.
He just kills you, you know? It makes it very, very hard to dive a particular champion. As Fiesta looking to move in, they do manage to get a bit of damage onto Rascal here, but they secure this Rift Herald. Rascal's actually able to go over there and pick that one up. But in the bottom lane, Dundun able to trade it for a turret. Keep pushing forward. Nongshim wasting no time when it comes to this one. And look at all of the vision that they have available to themselves. Absolutely everywhere is lit up like a Christmas tree outside of where Fate is. Let's see whether he can get himself over. Does get himself into the pit as now Nongshim going to get themselves out of the way. They do try and outplay Beryl here as Moonlight Vigil flies forward, but it's already Paddock with a kill, but that massive amount of damage from Jiwoo is going to be there. He does have red-white guns, and there are low health bars, but Paddock is pretty high on health. As now Jiwoo is just trying to get in amongst it, but he's so low range, it's really hard for him to get these autos through, and the Drake is going to be secured by DRX. As Paddock taking a lot of damage here from Jiwoo, but a teleport to come in. They're looking for a flank angle, and he is going to try and Gale Force his way out. Does get charmed up, though, and there is Jiwoo. DRX, too much CC, too many opportunities, as Fiesta and Dundun doing a fair bit of work here in this side lanes, but this mid lane going to be in a whole lot of trouble.
Not again.
Yeah, Fate's going to move in one more time. That Gale Force is going to work out here as he tries as he might, but it's not going to work out. That's going to be the second kill coming through for the Zeri. As you can see, they're still trying to find a fight here, but Dundun in a lot of trouble. Immediate cleanse there from Paddock gets him out of the Glacial Prison, and Nongshim have to back away. These shock blasts are hurting, but Jiwoo...
and it just feels like sloppy from Nongshim, but really heads up from DRX.
Well, Rascal, he may die here. As we can see, Cassante just throwing the crocodile around. And Fiesta decided that he wanted to join in, and he's going to head up there as well. This could be an opportunity to go back and just grab themselves a Drake, as Fiesta decides that mid lane is what he's looking for, but in goes Fate. Not going to be able to find too much here, but he gets booped back by the big old hammer, and now Juhan looking to make his presence known as well. There's the Cyclone, and there's the kill onto the Jace. Just caught out of position and look to try and defend. This Baron is going to be what they're looking for. Right at the edge of the Arctic Assault and Sylvie. It's his turn to get caught. Paddock's going to grab that one. And Nongshim, they're just dropping the ball.
Yep. There's no other way to spin it. Just consistently being caught out. People overextended. People out of position. And there's two sides here, right? Mistakes from Nongshim, but DRX doing a fantastic job of punishing Jiwoo. I'm not sure they want to go for this.
Yeah, well, he's going to throw in the Moonlight Vigil. Does a fair bit of work as Hostile Takeover does basically nothing. Peter looking for an opportunity here as they get slammed into the wall. The Baron is going to be secured as now Fate dueling with Jiwoo here is trying to get these autos. Creates a decent amount of space here, but Zeri, her existence is still there. And Jiwoo off towards the top. He's actually just going to be ignored. Blast Cone's decent charm is going to miss. But the Baron is there. Paddock's still alive. And Dundun not going to be so lucky here. Tries to do a few Cassante things, but it's not going to work out.
And I think DRX, they're not super set on making things happen. They know they don't really need to do much other than trap.
Sylvie might just be dead here as the Everfrost comes down, and yes, he indeed is.
That's the theme.
Yeah.
That's the theme of this game. People on Nongshim where they shouldn't be. And then DRX explaining it to them in great detail.
Yeah. By the way, you are in the wrong place. But the thing is, we just haven't seen enough from Nongshim as far as getting these team fights to work out for themselves, and Rascal has such an incredible flank here. This is terrifying. Fiesta's going to face check a Dominus Crocodile. Probably the better one to do so, as now they're trying to keep him at arm's length as Jiwoo gets towards his green-white guns, and they take down the GA. Sylvie gets into the pit, but he's unable to stop the Infernal Soul from being taken down as now Dundun. He has to accept the fate as they do a lot of damage. The Zeri is still going to stay alive, though, because Bailing exists. She bails herself out in the end as well as the triple kill comes in. That's going to be the ace. That's some Renata Zeri for you there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of Infernal Souls at the top of your screen. Sorry, a lot of Infernal Drakes at the top of your screen. And DRX will march down the mid lane, take down their very first Nexus, or very first Game 3 Nexus at least of the season.
Huge win for DRX to break the loss streak. And this game, very convincing, picked Nongshim apart in that one. And relief, you have to assume.
That feels about correct. But you can see Nongshim doing a lot of damage, but ultimately it didn't really matter because DRX found it when they needed to. And
thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the POG interview translation, and we are here joined by Paddock and Fate for their first ever winners interview of the summer season. Paddock, congratulations on the first win, a very meaningful moment for you guys. How do you feel? We were losing a lot early on, you know, so we always kind of tried our best to figure out what the biggest problem is. You know, to be completely honest, the team atmosphere was not also the best. But with this win, I hope we can bounce back and start moving forward. Yeah, I mean, we were having a very disappointing results early on in the season. So today was a must-win series for us, and I'm so relieved and happy that we won. Yeah, you guys briefly touched on, you know, how the team was dealing with the situation. So what did you guys focus on in order to boost the morale? We just all worked hard to fix our issues. You know, we also tried to have as many conversations as possible with each other. Paddock, so you are the starting AD carry on the side of DRX. Does that, you know, add a lot of pressure on your shoulders? Yeah, I mean, I started, you know, playing as a starting player this season, so, and I thought I was not playing up to the expectations early on, so I'm so sorry, but yeah, so with this win, I hope I can start proving myself. Please give a warm round of applause for Paddock, who's having his first ever LCK interview. And Fate, you also made it back to the starting lineup starting last series. So I think with our team having me as a starting player, they wanted to focus on the early game objective decision makings, you know, and also kind of transitioning into the later phase of the game as well. So while I was watching my team play, I also focused on those issues, and I hope me kind of making a return to this roster can fix the problem. And Paddock. Today we had the Pokemon battle, a very cute storyline between you and Jiwoo. Did you like that? I thought it was really funny, yeah. And I was able to prove that Pokemon can actually beat Ash. I have a question following up with the Pokemon theme. I did some. Can you do some impression on Psyduck? Well, any Psyduck impression ready? I'm sorry. I don't think I can do this. Sorry. But we still have so many Psyduck fan signs and also real stuff Psyduck toys here as well to support you. How was playing up against you today? Well, I actually played up against you quite a lot of times, starting from the Academy series. I think he's a great player, especially his aggressive playstyle is on point. And today I also thought that he's showcasing a great performance. So I want to go back to game number 1 and 2. You decided to play Zero Recon into Varus, but we had different kind of outcome. I think the early game setup in game number 1 was not on point. But in the third game, we were able to get rid of the issues, and we were really mindful of the champion matchup itself. So we were waiting until the kind of power point of Zeri, and we wanted to start taking fights after that. And Paddock in game 2, Tristana actually got a kill, and then the opponent still wanted to force a 4v5 team fight. Yeah, they were trying to contest for that, so we just wanted to wait until they actually dive onto us. So we were able to easily outnumber them, so we just wanted to wait until they actually just open a team fight and re-engage. And Fate. DRX got very aggressive in game 3. You know, you guys were trying to make actions early on. What kind of feedback did you guys have after game 2? So I think we were very hesitating taking fights early on in game number 1, so we wanted to become better at that starting game 2, and then game 3 we had better comp that can actually play aggressive early game. And then we had blind pick Ahri in game 3. Chovy was the one ending the losing streak of Ahri, but he did say Ahri is not the best pick in the mid lane right now. What do you think about that? So there were not a lot of mid lane champions left available in that situation, so Ahri looked like a decent pick in that given situation. And Paddock, you played Zeri today, back to back Zeri the entire series. Why do you prefer this pick? Well, as a team, we thought Zeri is a better AD carry champion right now, and also we can pull off better performance on that pick. And in the end, you were able to win POG on that Zeri as well. And DRX, your next opponent will be Leap Sandbox. Fade your former team as well. What is your mindset heading into that matchup? Yeah, well, it feels weird to go up against my ex team, but it's been a while since I actually played there. But I'm looking forward to seeing Teddy perform that day. And Paddock, we just beat Nongshim today. I want to keep this momentum in order to get the win up against Lip Sandbox as well. And this will be the end of the interview from Paddock, Fate on the side of DRX, and back to the space. Thank you.